Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I hope you are having a blessed day. I am happy to be back. It's been a minute since I've recorded a video. Well, I've recorded several shorts, as you can see, or if you haven't noticed, but it's been, I think, 9 or 10 days since I've recorded a video going over information. So it feels good to be back. But before I started this video, guess what? I recorded an entire video with my mic off. So I have to do this again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over a couple of things today, and then each day for the next 3 days, I'll upload a video because I don't want to do this whole thing over again. But today we are going to talk about the Invictus Games. We are also going to talk about a queen consort who was trying to be Marilyn Monroe. I am going to talk about briefly about how Invictus Games inspired so many people, but then there were people that was brought out to, I guess, I don't know, rain on their parade. But I'm going to let you know before I even go into that, it did not work. The Invictus Games was extremely successful and inspiring and fun to watch. I am having withdrawals. I wanted it to continue, but it's over. So let me add my slides because I see that I don't have them. Okay, here's my slide. Let's start with good news. The good news is, according to Nelson Streaming Top 10, Suits takes first place for 10th week in a row. So Suits is still doing good. I am so proud of, well, let's be honest. People started watching Suits on Netflix because of Meghan. Although there were people who was watching Netflix and didn't realize that was Meghan that was actually on the show and were extremely shocked when they found out. But there were a lot of people who tuned in to Netflix because of Meghan. And then they realized, this is actually a good show. And so they decided to watch more episodes. So Suits is still doing well. Let's give them, or give Suits, a clap. And now I want to go into the Invictus Games. The Invictus Games was wonderful. This right here is my favorite picture. It's Harry and Meghan. I don't know if they're looking at each other, but just the lights and how the lights is shining, the reflection on their hair and their skin. It's absolutely beautiful. But before I go into more information, I want to show you my personal highlights of Invictus Games, okay? Do you have a moment? Let's watch.
And then
and so I just had to spend a little bit more time getting our little ones settled at home. Milkshakes and school drop off. And then I just
Did you see when the baby gave Meghan, she blew Harry and Meghan a kiss? Oh, that was so cute. That was so cute. And then also, this was also a highlight.
And the winner of the gold medal and Invictus Games champion, representing United States of America, Danielle Potter.
Yay, Eula, Tara, that was wonderful. And did you guys, I hope you all watched the Invictus Games. Did you all get a glimpse of, what's his name, Sam Ryder, when he, he decided to, walk up to Meghan and give her a bump once he realized Harry wasn't there. He gave her a fist bump. That was so cute to me. And it was just a joke, of course. I don't think he was trying to be flirtatious or anything, but it was all in fun, and I thought it was cute. And did you guys know that Meghan donated, or not donated, but she gave one of her recipes to, what's his name, Andres from World Central Kitchen to put in their book?
This is from Meghan, this amazing lemon pound cake. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And what about Dr. Stephen? I think it's Stephen or Stephen Keller. He thought that the Invictus Games was so awesome that he's wanting to put something like that together each year. Let's hear from him.
Many ways, this was a very important week for Invictus, but also for Düsseldorf, and we are quite proud how this actually happened. And we kept asking ourselves in the preparation for this week, how can we keep this spirit going? How can we really create a long-lasting, sustainable legacy of the Invictus idea in Germany? What can be a contribution that we as a city of Düsseldorf can make to the ongoing commitment to the Invictus idea? And I'm very happy to be able to announce tonight the launch of Invictus Germany, an initiative carried by the city of Düsseldorf and DLive with the support of the Bundeswehr and the Invictus Foundation. I think this will create a platform that we can use.
Isn't that wonderful? I mean, people are inspired by this. This was global. This was awesome. And what about Harry's birthday?
You happy happy?
Yes, thank
You
you.
happy? Well done. Well done. Well done. Happy birthday.
Yeah, I'm so happy.
I've got something for you. This is from our team. Team Invictus Sport volleyball.
Thank you very much.
Because the team is our strength. Thank you very much. Thank you for this what you are doing. Thank you. And you, thank you for supporting me. Bravo! So come on, everybody. Drużyna to nasza siła! Drużyna to nasza siła! Drużyna to nasza siła! 100 lat, niech żyje nam! 100 lat, niech żyje nam! Jeszcze raz, niech żyje nam! Niech żyje nam! A kto? Harry! Happy birthday! Keep going! Yes, of course!
Aww, that was beautiful. There were so many highlights, and I'm going to share them all. But like I said, I'm going to break it up each day. And this picture right here, oh, I love this picture. It was like she's rubbing his back and she's reassuring. Well, she didn't have to reassure him because Harry knew that he did an awesome job. And she was basically telling him, baby, this is your legacy. This is awesome. This is you. I am so proud of you, baby. Well, at least that's what I'm thinking she said. And then on this picture, which I love, where she's sitting in the golf cart and she's got her legs crossed and she's like, yeah, I'm here with my man and yeah, I look good and I'm going to cross my leg. If you want to take a picture, snap. I love that picture. And if you guys did not know, if you did not watch the INVICTUS ceremony thoroughly, there were disabled, oh, I hate using that word, but there were people that was in wheelchairs who were dancing from California, in the Bay Area to be exact. And they are called, they are from the Axis Dance Company, and they gave a awesome performance. And if you like to watch the performance, I would suggest you go to the Invictus Games on YouTube and look at the performance. I'm sorry, I had to pause the video because I had to sneeze. But yes, go back and look at that performance. It was very, very good. And I don't think they highlighted that enough. So I like to point that out. There was also a performance by the Bay Area dancers in California from the Axis Dance Company, who opened the ceremony, actually. And then here's the other guy who opened the Invictus Games ceremony. His name was Markle or Markle. I can't remember his name, but I'll tell you what, his performance, in my opinion, was the best. It was awesome. Harry picked the right person to open that ceremony, and it was good. I actually have the opening ceremony in one of my shorts. So if you want to look at it, go to one of my shorts. And here is Meghan and Harry with Rita Ora, and I think his name is Sam Ryder. He was the one who gave Meghan the fist bump. They also did good. But like I said, I believe the opening ceremony, the performers were better, in my opinion. And here is Meghan. She took a break to go and read to children. I like this picture also, with her hair in a bun. And she's dressed all slick and professional. And if you guys didn't know, everything pretty much that Meghan wore is sold out. Meghan is that girl. The Meghan effect is still on. people are still buying her clothes at, well, in my, yes, and it's the, before I can even click on the link to see how much, the shirt or her pants or her dress cost, it was already gone. So there are some people that's in the squad or supporters who got money. And look at that crowd. That was the crowd for the closing ceremony. It was a packed house. And there are people who would lead you on to believe that not too many people were there, but it was so many people there. And I took that information out of my slide, and I'll talk about that tomorrow, about how many people were there, how many views they got on globally on national television, or if they streamed it. Harry, wow, 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 wow. And here is a article by, I think her name is pronounced Tanit Coach. And the name of the article is Germans Planning. Harry is a national hit in Germany. Thanks to his Invictus Games, traumatized German soldiers have been brought rightly into the limelight. And here is a handsome picture of Harry. Now, when I first started the article, I was like, yeah, there's another hater on here. But once I got into it, I realized that this was a woman who was buying into the British press hate before the Invictus Games. And then, and because of that, when she watched Netflix, she still had a sour taste in her mouth. But after the Invictus Games, what she thought is no longer, along with a lot of other German people. Now, let me get into the article. She said, I never pass up a chance to serve as your royal correspondent. Opportunities are rare enough in the, Bunder Republic. But since the Sussexes self-inflicted tragic comedy on Netflix last year, I don't think it was considered a tragic comedy, but let's continue on. I admit I've not been watching Harry so closely. So that's the part where I was like, I don't know. But then I continued on. And then I found out that it was actually good. The German media has nicknamed him Prince Pinlich, so Prince Cringy. But this is history, at least for the moment, thanks to the Invictus Games in Dusseldorf, which ended up having a much more important effect than simply earning the prince brownie points with the press. Harry grew up in a country where the military is a normal part of society. He moved to another country where perfect strangers greet soldiers with the words, "Thank you for your service," which is true in the USA. When he landed in Germany, he entered a country that is as at odds. He entered a country that is as at odds with its Bundeswehr as Boris Becker was with paying his debts. Ooh. Since the end of the Cold War, we've seen two important changes. First, Germany slowly outsourced its defense to the US. You didn't win elections by funding the Bundeswehr, nor did you lose them by defunding it. So the political motivation for defense spending was limited until Ukraine. Let me get a drink of water. The second shift in the last 30 years was to start sending German soldiers on NATO and UN missions, which meant that they also died or were severely wounded abroad in attacks, in combat, in accidents, or by the S word. Both changes, defunding and foreign deployment, were met with little public interest. While life for soldiers now became radically different, the lack of interest in them largely remained the same. So in Germany, they didn't care much about their soldiers. I vividly remember when the Berlin Parks Department prohibited 500 Bundeswehr. I hope I'm pronouncing that correct. If I'm not, let me know how to pronounce it. I vividly remember when the Berlin Parks Department prohibited 500 Bundeswehr recruit from taking a ceremonial pledge in front of the Reichstag, the Parliament building, on July 20th, 2008. The ceremony was intended to commemorate the failed plot to assassinate Hitler. Eventually, a peace was brokered and the event went ahead. The next page. To further illustrate Germany's complicated bond with the Bundeswehr, look at Wikipedia. English language wiki explains that German Armed Forces Deployment Medal, introduced in 1996 as an award for military service in a designed military campaign, but you won't find the M word on German wiki, which states that the blank is awarded for deployment or special assignments abroad for humanitarian, peacekeeping, and peace building measures. We have decided to be the peace business, which also means please don't call it war. More than 20 had already been K in Afghanistan, and yet the official word remained stabilizing mission, combat mission at most, but war couldn't be. Because in addition, many soldiers' life insurances stated, albeit in small print, that it wouldn't pay out for fatalities in war. Another 3 soldiers had to fall before a new defense minister broke the taboo in 2010 and used Craig to describe the situation in Afghanistan. Germany's militaristic history is, of course, the reason for all. So Germany militaristic history is, of course, the reason for all this. What is that? Reticence towards the military. It seems we've been cured of a previous and unhealthy desire for parades. As collateral, however, recognition for those serving society at the risk of their own life has been lost too. There are attempts to change this, not least because of the Bundeswehr is short of staff, which makes the Invictus Games invaluable. Yes, this being Germany, there were criticism. Critics complained that the event glorified war and was propaganda for Western military to sugarcoat the Iraq and Afghanistan disasters. And that is cynically used arms manufacturers as sponsors. By the way, while they are often called defense contractors in English, the term in Germany is, I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's armament corporation. And then came Harry, modest, thoughtful, honoring the veterans. He spoke of, I think I probably have that on the other one. No, I don't. So he spoke of I'm thinking it says camaraderies. So naturally, it was far from glorifying heroism. Instead, Accompanied by Meghan, he patiently explained the horrific consequences of war on soldiers, shook hands, drank local beer, tipped generously, smiled for selfies, and sat through 80 minutes of Germany's most popular TV show, Sports Studio. He even had the grace to lose against our defense minister, Boris, when shooting a football at its famous goal wall with 2 holes in it. Thanks to his Invictus Games, traumatized and disabled German soldiers received more airtime and visibility in a week during prime time than they had in the previous 10 years. They were shown as part of society and not isolated part. So thank you for your service, Harry. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that wonderful? That Harry was able to step in and the Invictus Games brought reality and opened the eyes of German people so much that the disabled was brought into society and looked upon favorably. So thank you, Harry, for that. I love this picture of Meghan. It's like, oh, she looks so youthful on there. And I love this picture also of Meghan. So thank you, Harry and Meghan, because Harry and Meghan are a team. Let's admit it, they're a team. But most of the work, I'm sure, was Harry. I love this picture also. It's so sexy. They're such a hot couple. Look at me lusting over this couple. I love this picture also. Look at how the men are looking at Meghan. They're looking at her like, yeah. Now this, oh my goodness. Okay, so Invictus Games, people are talking about it. People like myself, I'm having withdrawals. It's like, oh man, it just brought out so much happiness. But then people came out and wanted to rain on their parade, starting with Prince William. So Prince William made his way to America. And of course, the British press, oh my goodness, they pumped him up and they printed articles to make it appear as if, he came to America and he did a damn thing. But in reality, that is not what happened. The American media did not talk about it. We did not read about it in the papers. The only media and tabloid that was really pumping this up and making it appear as if Williams, whatever reason why he was here to pump up his Earthshot prize, that, he was warmly welcomed. No. Even the mayor of New York chose not to meet with him, but instead he attended Ayako Russell 21st birthday party. Ayako Russell is, what's his name? Russell Simmons and Kamora Simmons' daughter. Kamora Simmons was the CEO of Baby Fat, and she was married to Russell Simmons, and Russell Simmons he was the one who, he was the head of Run DMC. I mean, he wasn't Run DMC, but he was pretty much like their manager, right? So the mayor of New York decided to meet with them instead of meeting with Prince William. But let me show you what how they're trying to pump this up, but what was really said. Okay, let me show the video.
They hold the British royals even higher than they do their own homegrown celebrities from California, from Los Angeles. And I mean, Diana had New York in her hand for many years. Charles avoided going to the East Coast because it was so seen as to be synonymous with those who supported the Princess of Wales. But that's all changed now, and you know, William is now very much his own man, and I think he is demonstrating that he's his mother's son, if you like, in many ways, and they like him, and you know, I think we're going to see a lot more of him in America.
Do you think he's just shy?
Awkward. Yes, I think possibly there is an element of shyness with him. He's like careful about saying too much.
So he tried to pump him up, but then he had to tell the truth and said that he's awkward. Oh, these people. And then here is another funny video to me. So Charles and Camilla made their way to France, and this is they rolled out the red carpet for them, and I mean, they treated them like they were the king of France. And in my opinion, there is some backdoor stuff going on, because why are they treating Charles and Camilla like that? I mean, there were all kind of people out there. They were having all this, like it was a huge parade just for Charles to give a speech that was less than three minutes. It was ridiculous. So he wasn't just there for that speech. They didn't roll out the red carpet just because he's Charles. They rolled out the red carpet because there is some stuff going on behind the scenes. Believe me. Now let's look at this video of Camilla doing her Marilyn Monroe act.
Présentez! Stop!
And not only that, why did he leave her? It's obvious that Harry got his manners from somewhere else, because he definitely didn't get them from Charles, believe me. So I thought that video was funny. I've watched that video a couple of times. You could see Camilla trying to hold everything together and Charles looking back like, oh dear, come on. That was funny to me. So William was out and Charles was out putting on the Charm Tour. That was the end of the funny things and the fascinating things and the motivational things that has inspired me. Now it's time to get into the real drama. Now, I'll tell you this. I guess it had to go twice because this is real drama here. So before I get into it, I just want to give you a heads up. This is about Thomas Markle. If this is not something that you want to look at, right now would be a good time to turn it off because, you know, it might make your blood pressure go up. So let's get started. So, like I said previously, Invictus Games, awesome. Very awesome. They brought out, and then Charles made his way out. William made his way out. You know, the try to, oh yeah, and then I forgot to mention this. So William and Kate went on a YouTube channel. What's his name? Mike Tyndall YouTube channel to try to rain on the Invictus Games parade, but it didn't work. And of course, let me make this clear. William traveling to New York was already planned, and Charles traveling to France was already planned. But I don't know when it was planned because we've been knowing about the Invictus Games forever. And last year, the Invictus Games was awesome. And the royal family, they knew this year was going to be off the freaking chain. So, of course, they tried to plan their trips around the Invictus Game, of course. But when all those things failed to hurt or bring Harry and Meghan down, they brought out Thomas Markle. They always bring him out whenever good things are going on with Harry and Meghan. So a squatty posted this on X, formerly known as Twitter. It says, the world now clearly sees war being waged to keep Harry and Meghan from outshining the RF. After tremendous success of the Invictus Games, like clockwork, Thomas Markle is wheeled out to try to dull the Sussexes' shine. But it won't work, as the world has caught on. And I'm not going to show the video of what Thomas Markle said, but he went on to talk about he wanted to see his grandchildren before his death, but then he went on to talk negatively about his daughter. So, Thomas, you are not going to see your grandkids. And then another squatty went on to say, but Lily and Archie are not his only grandchildren. There are other grandchildren that he has yet to meet. So Thomas Markle has said visiting his adult grandchildren isn't easy, so he doesn't. But when someone else foots the bill and pays for him to travel to Florida to pay him and his two oldest spawn to drag Meghan, it's easy. And then she went on to say, what a dang liar. So it says, he has been stung by critics, particularly those in the UK, who complain that he rarely sees his other grown-up grandchildren, Tyler and TJ, the sons of Tom Jr., and Noel, Christopher, and Ashley, the children of his eldest daughter, Samantha. According to Thomas, Brits don't realize the scale of the distances between us, he says. When American families move apart from each other, there are thousands of miles between us. We stay in touch, but it's not that easy. You can't just jump in the car and go like you guys can. We stay in touch the best way we can. So you stay in touch like never because you don't see them. But then you go on national TV to beg your daughter to see your grandkids. Meghan and Harry will never. Meghan stated in 2021 on the Oprah show or the Oprah interview that she lost her dad. Did he not get it? When she said, I lost my dad, that meant I'm done with you. It's over. And it's over because of things like this. Not only the letter, and not only the fact that he's gone on the British media to slander his daughter, but he was also in cahoots with the very people who was trying to destroy Meghan. Listen to this.
The truth is coming out. A lot of the truth is coming out, and thank God for Jason Knopf. I mean, I'll be happy to bring him over here and take him to Sizzler, and we'll enjoy a steak and a nice little dinner together. He's certainly putting things in the right perspective.
Well, yes, and so let's break it down, Thomas. So Jason Knopf, he was your daughter's director of communications, worked very closely with her at the time, and now as a result of this court case is dropping a whole load of truth bombs, which actually suggests that Meghan wasn't entirely honest in the statement that she made previously to the court. Were you surprised by that? Do you believe that your daughter was just forgetful, or do you think this was a deliberate attempt to mislead the court?
I really can't speak too much about this, but I think that she was trying to deceive. I think she was telling lies, but I can't really speak about this particular thing too much.
So this is one of the reasons why Meghan refused to talk to her father or introduce her children to that man. Now, mind you, Jason Knopf is the person that Prince William sent to fight or to side with Mel on Sunday when Meghan was fighting them in court about a letter that she had written to her dad, a private letter that she had written to her dad. Now, when Jason Knopf got there, he got there and talked about things that was unrelated to the lawsuit, just so the British media can print stories saying that Meghan lied. Jason Knopf was appointed to Harry and Meghan when they married by Kensington Palace, which basically William sent his right-hand man to work with Meghan and Harry. But what Jason Knopf was doing was stabbing Harry and Meghan in the back. And Thomas Markle was working with Jason Knopf to continue, actually, to put his foot on Harry's and Meghan's back while they were already down. So no, Thomas Markle. No, Thomas Markle Sr. You need to stop. And that's all I got to say for today. This video actually went much longer than I thought it was going to go, and I'm so sorry. But I'll have more content tomorrow. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, or subscribe. And until my next video, peace.